Welcome, everyone, to this episode of Morning Brew. Well, today we are pulling back the curtain on one of Laredo's biggest traditions, the Washington's birthday celebration. This isn't just parades and parties. It's a full month of moving parts, big decisions, and even bigger pressure. To learn how the entire process works, we're sitting down one-on-one with this year's WBCA President Jaime Fuentes, who's giving us a behind-the-scenes look that rarely gets shared. We're talking planning and preparation to the personal sacrifices that come with leading a celebration of this magnitude. Jaime opens up about the challenges, the wins, and yes, the moments that hit straight into the heart. It's an honest, in-depth conversation about what it truly means to serve at the helm of a beloved community tradition, and what happens when passion and pride and responsibility all come together. So pour yourself a cup. This is Morning Brew. Welcome. Jaime, thank you so much for joining us today. Appreciate having you with us.
No, thank you for having me.
This is when everything is coming together. I mean, you started with a lot of announcements a few months ago, but we're revving up for the big celebration.
It's getting a little real, yeah. So,
yes.
I mean, for those that don't know, this actually is a year-round endeavor for all of us.
Yeah.
You know, when you get asked to serve and you get elected on to serve on the executive committee for WBCA, it's a 6-year commitment because it's a succession. You go from treasurer, second vice, first vice, president-elect, presidency, and we stay on 1 year as a next president official as a consultant to help the people coming up. So it's been quite the endeavor, and I actually, myself and my predecessor, Fernando Montemayor, get the distinction of being the only people that are going to be serving us for 7 years because we came on in the COVID era. So,
wow.
So we did have a year where we had that one elongated celebration that was the 122nd that went into two years.
Wow. Well, let's talk a little bit about yourself, Jaime.
Sure.
You know, lots of people are going to get to know you very well because you're making the rounds. And how did you become involved with WBCA?
That actually happened 25 years ago.
Wow.
Which half of my life ago. Which, sorry, aging myself. But so there was a group of volunteers, great dedicated Laredoans that are still at it today. People like A.B. Barrera, Judy Warowski, Ponche Herrera, and a few others that were all putting together something for the Laredo Little Theater. They were trying to put something together for people that were looking for something different. They decided to do a rock and comedy festival. The initial one was called the Jam for George back in 2001. And they were looking for people to help put that together. And they knew I had a little bit of experience in the local music scene as far as helping book acts and bands. So they brought me in, and I've been at this ever since.
You know, but you've been at it ever since. You started with just the Jam for George. Now it's called the comedy.
It's transitioned to the comedy Jam for George.
Right.
We tried doing the rock and roll shows for a couple of years. You know, we brought some major acts, Jefferson Starship, Oyster Cult, Cheap Trick. But I think that a lot of us were still a little too green in the realm of putting these things together.
Yeah.
And it was quite the undertaking. And we just felt that the comedy shows were a much more profitable, scaled down version of what we were looking for. And that became what's now still known as the comedy Jam for George that everybody looks forward to every year.
Absolutely, because who doesn't want to laugh? That
Yes.
is one of the signature events. So you started off with that, but over the course of a few decades have risen to presidency.
So with the same group of dedicated people that I was talking about earlier that were putting together this event, a lot of them were also involved in the Jalapeño Festival that was an affiliate of WBCA at the time. It was a separate entity.
Okay.
And so they kind of was like, well, you did a great job for us here, and we were all doing this over here. So I just followed the energies. I mean, it's just a great group of people that had just a great sense of community to them, and it was very infectious. So I came onto that. Fortunately, and in doing that, I caught the attention of the current, the people that were the existing executive committee for WBCA at the time, and I was asked to come and help them with that. As far as coming in, and they needed help at the time with the air show, and they talked me into joining them as well.
So you've been doing a little bit of everything with the Washington's birthday celebration, going from event to event, volunteering,
yes.
and eventually joined the executive committee.
So back in about 2012, I was getting married that year, and you get elected to a 3-year term for WBCA. When you get put on the board of directors, it's not. It is an election based off of the WBCA membership. Anybody that's a paid member of WBCA gets a ballot, and depending on your level of sponsorship, your ballot weighs a certain amount. So I was fortunate enough to get elected on early, and in 2012, you have to ask for permission to put you back on the ballot when I was up for re-election, and actually took a little hiatus. I was getting married that year. I wanted to focus on my job changed. I started working for Gindigi Oil at the time, and my dynamic changed a little bit my time commitments. I was able to contribute to the organization.
You know, a lot of people don't realize that this is all volunteer work. It is not a paid job. You don't get any reimbursement of any kind. So you have to have very understanding bosses with your real job. You also have to have a very understanding partner at home and kids, because you need to balance all of this. This is a huge endeavor. There is an entire city of lots of people looking forward to this celebration, and it seems as if it all falls on your shoulders.
We take it very personally because we do believe in the organization, and we're very committed to the city of Laredo and helping the people around here. We believe in our community a lot, and you couldn't do this if you didn't, because it is quite the undertaking. I'm very blessed that my wife puts up with a lot of the downtime. And, even when I'm leaving the house sometime and for evening events, and my kids look at me, "You're leaving again? Like, where are you going?" I was like, "WBCA." "Okay, we get it. See you later." And, like I said, it's very understanding. They understand what my commitment to this is, and they support it. And so does my employer.
Well, going back to your kids, they're very young too. So
yes, I have an 11-year-old and a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
And they look forward to the event. So, I mean,
you get to take them with you.
I take them with me as much as I can, yes, to some of the more family-friendly events. Obviously, they attend the air show with me every year. I take them to the opening for the carnival, when they've been to the parades. I haven't gone to the Jalapeño Festival yet, but maybe this is the year.
Do you stay up at night because you realize and accept the magnitude of what you're about to go into this coming? I mean,
I tend to wake up in the middle of the night for ungodly reasons, and just the mind starts turning, like you said, and all of a sudden you wake up at 2 in the morning and you remember, did I do this? I was supposed to do that? Did I get back to this person? And then I'm staring through my phone, like, yes, I did do all that, and okay, you have a sense of relief, but now you're wide awake at 3 in the morning, and it does weigh on you, because, like you said, it's I don't want to use the term burden, because it's not. Yeah. It's a labor of love. But it's a lot. The cross is heavy that we bear when we're doing these things, because, like I said, there's a lot on the line. This organization's on its 128th year, and you just want to make sure that you're leaving it in a good spot for the next team and the next team and the next team.
That's right, because there are several. What year is this coming up for you that the Washington's birthday has been celebrated?
So this is the 128th celebration.
Wow.
So going back to 1898. So it's quite a tradition here. I mean, obviously, one of the first experiences, I moved to Laredo in 1986. My family is originally from Uvalde, and I grew up in Eagle Pass as well. And my parents both worked for HEB and were transferred here for different positions in '86. And one of my earliest memories of Laredo was the Jalapeño Festival, when it was downtown in the downtown area. And I just remember seeing the guys running around on the little tricycles and the jalapeno pizza eating contest and all the different things. And I was like, this is great. Like, we didn't have anything like this back where I was from. So it was amazing.
Did you ever imagine that you would be president of this one day?
It's not something I ever aspired to do. When I started volunteering and was involved early on, it was not something that I saw like as an end goal or anything. I mentioned my hiatus that I took in 2012. So in about 2015, 2016, I had gotten married. My son Robert, or RJ as we call him, was already a little older and not so dependent on the constant diaper changing and everything like that. He was big enough already to
feed himself.
So it was something where the opportunity presented itself that I was able to come back.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did, because in the what I like to call the two versions of my WBCA life.
Pre-marriage and post-marriage.
Pre-marriage and post-marriage, yes. There's a lot of the same people, but there was this brand new group of people that I got to meet when I came back in. People that had started volunteering in my hiatus. And it was amazing to see just a fresh face of all these new people, people that I still hold very dear, because it's an amazing group. It's so refreshing when you find a group of people that are that selfless and willing to get their hands dirty, give of their time, because like I said, none of us get paid. Despite what the popular opinion is, if there's a check out there waiting for me, I'd love it. But that has not happened yet. But it's amazing, and it's very intoxicating to be able to be around that group, because you fall into, like, we call ourselves a family because we are. I mean, we call ourselves Team No Sleep because there's times in February where you're not going to sleep because you're bouncing from event to event. Yeah. And we all do it together. Yeah. That's the only way it's going to happen, is because everybody pulls together to do it. Whether it's the board members, the volunteers, the staff. We do have a full-time staff that we're able to help with the events. And of course, the citizens of Laredo, they continue to support us. Yeah. And last but not least, our sponsors that are just, all our sponsors that just give so selflessly of themselves to allow us to put these things on. Our focus always is to give back to the community by trying to keep our costs as low as possible. We have if not the lowest, one of the lowest priced air shows in the nation. If you go to an air show outside of this market, you will find how expensive that truly is to go to. Yeah. But our goal is to make sure that we have something for the family of Laredo. People that get to go and that maybe can't afford to do something like that. Mm-hmm. We have early bird specials, like right now before the end of December, you can buy an air show ticket for $10. And if you got children 12 and under, they go in for free. So it really is something that you can do with the whole family and go and enjoy it. Yeah.
No, absolutely. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that and get a little bit deeper with Jaime Fuentes to see what it really takes to put together a month-long celebration. Of course, like he was saying right now, the planning, the challenges, even the moments that test you. You don't want to miss it. We're going to take a quick break to hear from our sponsors, but stick around. We've got a whole lot more on the Washington's birthday celebration.
Why pay a monthly fee? Free checking at IBC.
Organic Man Coffee Track, Laredo's first and only coffee air roastery. For over 10 years, we've crafted bold, smooth flavors from around the world, committed to your health by exclusively using organic ingredients. Organic Man Coffee Track. Travel the world, one coffee at a time.
Welcome back, everybody, to this episode of Morning Brew. We are talking with Jaime Fuentes. He's this year's president of the Washington's birthday celebration. We're getting a once-in-a-lifetime look at the behind the scenes of putting together such a huge endeavor with the Washington's birthday celebration. And this year, of course, Jaime is the president of it. And Jaime, thank you once again for sticking around and talking to us about some of these things that, as a regular citizen, folks don't understand all that goes into putting together such a large festival, and also the moving parts that for sure lots of us don't understand how they work, but at the end they all look fantastic. So
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the individual events and how those come about. And you were talking during our little break right now about the Jalapeño Festival.
Sure.
And how there's some changes this year with that.
Yes, we made a few key changes this year, and I think for the better. For the people of Laredo, and also for our organization, because historically everybody's aware that the Jalapeño Festival and the parades, and with site of Martha Washington, all that conjoins into what we used to call our big weekend. And I mean, you had the SMW presentation on Friday night, as well as the Jalapeño Night 1. The next morning you had the parade and the bridge ceremony with Brazo children, and then Jalapeño Night 2. And there's a lot of back and forth to that. So one of the things that we wanted to do for our organization, and just for the overall planning, was we found a weekend where we were able to move the Jalapeño Festival up a few weeks to February 6th and 7th, and because we were changing homes. We are changing the grounds from traditionally what people have been used to at the Jalapeño Festival grounds on Hillside. For those that don't know, that actually does belong to the airport and the city, and they have they got into a long-term lease with somebody, so we weren't going to have access to that ground anymore. So we did need to find a new home. And we were fortunate enough to work with the Sames Auto Arena, and James Smith over there has been great as far as helping us put together a plan for how we're gonna do that. So for anybody that's curious, we are going to have it on the area that has been used for the carnival.
Okay,
The
so it's
south
going to be
side-
on that side.
On the south side of the arena.
Okay.
We will have, that whole area will be built into a stage, our VIP area called the hotspot for people that have historically been there. We'll have that all wide open. There's technically been 2 levels. We've had the pit pass and the hotspot. We're making one big hotspot now. Kind of
Okay.
eliminating the pit pass and just doing one big hotspot. We'll have our open area there as well with the food vendors and all the things that you're still used to seeing,
Right.
but in a different location. And this was done for multiple reasons. One was we needed to find a new home and a contingency plan. In the event of inclement weather, we are working on our plan B to take the festival inside if necessary.
Wow.
So that even if we don't get to fully execute the festival feel, you're still going to get to see the bands that you paid to see.
Right. Because we can go inside and there's, I mean, obviously the center, there's concerts that are always held there at the arena. They have ice skating, so they could definitely hold a large group of people.
You know, we'll release more information as it becomes available, but that's our plan. We have our backup plan.
And
for
that's
that.
only for inclement weather.
That's only for inclement weather. By that, I mean if it rains.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the other events. I wanted to ask, questions that we never get to really ask, like, okay, you've got the Society of Martha Washington, not part of the WBCA. You've got the Pocahontas, not part of the WBCA, but they're part of the festivities, of course, but they
Correct.
are separate groups.
Yes, correct. So we have affiliate relationships with a lot of different entities.
Okay.
Society of Martha Washington being one of them, Princess Pocahontas being one of them. They have their own governing boards. They have their own event planning, but they fall under our umbrella. We help them with marketing their events and just becoming part of our overall organization. LULAC Council 7 and 12 are affiliates of ours. The Laredo Association of Realtors is an affiliate of ours through the Fun Run. We have a new affiliate with the government of Nuevo Leon that's going to be doing a run of their own. That's going to be a binational run. So there's a lot of different affiliates that we have. Boys and Girls Club with the wine tasting, they're an affiliate of ours as well. So it all falls under the umbrella of WBCA, but those are standalone organizations and events.
Okay, now what are the ones that are WBCA? Mr. South Texas, maybe?
Mr. South Texas
Abrazo
is-
ceremony?
The Abrazo ceremony, both parades, the youth and the grand parade, Jalapeño Festival, the air show, the car show, the barbecue cook-off that we have at the end of January there at Life at
With the
1848.
fireworks.
And of course the fireworks. The fireworks is one of our big ones. I know HEB has that whole weekend mapped out for us. So the fireworks and all the family fun that's able to be had there at no cost. That's open to the public for free to come out there. Another thing that we like to do to give back to the community is have as many free events as we can, thanks to our sponsors. And like I said, car shows 100% free to attend. There's the parades. Obviously, there's no fee to attend those as well. To get to see all your family and your friends and your kids playing their instruments, marching in their units, cheerleaders, whatever the case may be, just the kiddie float, and just to be able to have something at the disposal of the people. And one of the things that I get the biggest kick out of every year is as soon as you see those chairs getting chained to the San Bernardo. I mean, every year it's a little earlier.
And blocking off where they want to sit.
And to the credit of the people of Laredo, the respect that people have for that, like, okay, those chairs are there already.
Yeah. Nobody mess with them.
Don't mess with those chairs. Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. South Texas has been a tradition, of course, for so many years.
Yes.
How's Mr. South Texas chosen?
So Mr. South Texas is selected by former recipients of Mr. South Texas. So you have to be a former recipient of Mr. South Texas that resides in Laredo, or a former president of WBCA. So there is a different committee, the Mr. South Texas Selection Committee, that is comprised of those different people that have sat in my seat before, and or have been the distinction of having been dubbed Mr. South Texas.
And they look at certain criteria that you all have laid out. And
There's different variables for every year. I mean, obviously, you want to have somebody that has contributed to the growth and the prosperity of South Texas in some way, shape, or form, in different ways. I mean, because there's a lot that goes on when you see some of these recipients that the public's not aware of sometimes. Some people look at just face value when there's a lot of variables in place.
And this year's Mr. South Texas.
And this year's South, being a sitting U.S. senator is always a positive to have in the city of Laredo.
Senator Ted Cruz.
Yes.
Okay.
So I mean, there's things that Senator Cruz has done positively for the group for South Texas. Very polarizing figure, I understand. So there's not everybody's a fan. But this is I'll be very blunt about it because people have been very vocal about it. But there is a person that has done a lot for helping push the growth of South Texas with international bridges, different agendas. And it came very highly touted by a lot of the people that were in that position to make the decision.
Well, you mentioned international bridges, so moving on to the abrazo ceremony that has obviously become a very signature event, a very loved event. Why is that so important for us to keep up that tradition?
That to me is the heart of this whole thing. I mean, having the relationship that we have, we are a very unique community in Laredo, no Laredo. Having the people, I know we both have friends and family that travel across the border every day for work, for family, for whatever the reason is, and it's two symbiotic entities that form one home here, Los Dos Laredos, and that unity that happens. I mean, it's no easy task to close an international bridge for
Not at all.
even a few minutes, but that is something that I think is so indicative of why it's important, of how everybody sees that moment where people come together and do share that embrace and do share that respect for each other, because we are one community, and it's important that people remember that.
We always bring down, we see some big names that come down for that bridge ceremony. Obviously, it is well known in Washington that this happens. You've got some big names coming in this time around.
This year, our bridge speaker got the confirmation from our Congressman Henry Cuellar that Hakeem Jeffries, the House Minority Leader, has agreed to be our bridge speaker. So it's always, another big. A lot of the people from Washington want to be down here for this because it is such a great event, and it's a great symbolic gesture to be here, and so we look forward to having him.
Yeah, absolutely. And on that note, we're going to take another break, but coming up, we're shifting gears just to look ahead. Jaime's going to give us an exclusive preview of some of the things we can look forward to for the 2026 Washington's birthday celebration. We're going to talk a little bit more about the parade, the air show, the carnival. Of course, we already talked about the Jalapeño Festival, but we got a whole lot more. Trust me, there is something for everybody, so don't go anywhere.
Organic Man Coffee Track, Laredo's first and only coffee air roastery. For over 10 years, we've crafted bold, smooth flavors from around the world, committed to your health by exclusively using organic ingredients. Organic Man Coffee Track. Travel the world, one coffee at a time.
Welcome back, everyone, to this episode of Morning Brew. We're talking to Jaime Fuentes. He's the incoming president, or the sitting president, of Washington's birthday celebration. He's got a lot on his shoulders as the Washington's birthday celebration is getting ready to kick off this coming January, at the end of January, actually. It's a month-long celebration here in Laredo, Texas. And Jaime has been talking to us about everything that goes into planning such a long and much-loved event here in Laredo. So we're going to focus these last few minutes of this episode of Morning Brew on exactly what we can expect this coming event or celebration. Jaime, thank you so much for sticking around with us. So we talked a little bit ago about the changes with Jalapeño Festival. Yes. That venue has changed from what some people know it as the park and ride before. Yes. Now it's moving to the parking lot of the Sames Auto Arena. Let's talk about some of the other events, of course, the big ones, and even some of the smaller ones. You know, we haven't talked a little bit about the fun run. Everybody looks forward to that 5K, and is it a 10K also? Just
no, it's a 5K there,
5K.
And it's centered around Laredo Medical Center. You know, great supporter of us for many years.
They do a health fair at the same time.
So it's important, like, for the people of the community to be able to go out there and get your screenings, get that 5K in there, you know, and it's just a fun event. It's usually just amazing amazing weather that morning. I always have a great time when I go.
There's a lot of people that sign up for that one too, and you've got all ages. You've got kids running 5Ks all the way to, you know, more seasoned runners, and there's also a walk
us more elderly walkers. So
yeah, exactly, me included in that. So that one, of course, a big event, so folks can look forward to that one too.
Yes,
we talked a little bit about the parade. So still the youth parade on Thursday, and the Grand Parade or the Anheuser-Busch
Grand Parade
on Saturday
yes.
too. Okay, so
those are, I mean, obviously the people always look forward to those things. There's, like I said, we joked around about it earlier about how people reserve their spots all over San Bernardo and Victoria Street. But it's just it's a great time. I mean, having an opportunity to see so many people on display, whether it's the Martha's floats, whether it's your school, whether it's different dignitaries. I mean, I always remember the Shriners running around those little cars, and some of the things that we tried and we wish they'd come back, because I know that a lot of times we used to have those the bands that would come from across the river.
Yes.
And just, I mean, that was a lot of fun, you know.
Yeah.
But we'll have a lot of people out there. We'll have just different groups. We have a unit coming in that's going to be like drum and fife that we joined in partnership with the site in Martha Washington to bring them down.
Oh, that's
so it's going to be
nice.
fun.
Well, and I'm going to do a shameless plug here. If you can't make it out to the parade, to the Grand Parade, the Anheuser-Busch Parade, you can always catch it. We always are out there, and we will broadcast it, of course, as we always do. So we also stream it on our website. So just a little shameless plug there.
You go.
Because we love partnering. KGNS loves partnering with WBCA so that
it's
we
been
can
a great relationship for a long time.
Get the parade on air for those who can't make it out there.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about, you talked about Comedy Jam for George.
Yes.
Any acts that you can already announce?
There's a few names that are already all secured. I'll let the Laredo Little Theater give us some more information on that, but I can tell you that you're going to be very impressed. There's a lot of big names that are on there from regional stuff, people that have been on stuff like Que Locos and different regional California acts. So it's going to be fun. It's a great lineup that Poncho and the theater with A.B. Barrera out there have put it together. And if you choose to buy a ticket to that, I hope you do, you'll get to see this guy on stage trying to do something funny.
Because that's a tradition. It's tradition for the WBCA president to try his act at open mic.
So it's something that everybody dreads because it's nerve-wracking to be able to be up there. It's one thing to be on the show. It's one thing to be up in front of thousands of people and then talking in front of them. That doesn't bother me. But being in a room full of your peers watching you try to be funny, it's very.
Yeah.
Oh, you know.
You can talk in front of strangers, but put yourself in front of family and friends and
try to make them laugh, yes.
Yeah.
So, and I actually have big shoes to fill, and here's a shameless plug for my predecessor, Fernando Montemayor, that did an amazing job last year. For those that were able to attend, I mean, you felt like you were watching a natural comedian. It wasn't.
Wow.
Yeah, he did an amazing job, and I was unfortunately part of his act. So I'll be, looking for some retribution there.
Yeah, you got roasted last year.
Now it's my turn to, I got the mic now, and he's going to be sitting there, so my turn.
Wow, well, that is pretty neat there. We got the carnival. Who doesn't love the carnival? Sponsored by McDonald's, of course.
So, like I said earlier, with Jalapeño Festival being the 6th and the 7th on the same auto arena rounds where the carnival is, one of the big challenges that we have is we got to get out of there really quick because the carnival starts coming in the next day to set up so that they can be ready for later that week. Okay. So that's one of our challenges as well. So when we're making these decisions, we almost do it to ourselves sometimes, but it's at the sake of making sure that we're giving the people of Laredo the best possible outcomes. Okay, so we've talked about the carnival, we've got Jalapeño. Laredo College, they've got the Fun Fest. Laredo College Fun Fest. Always a fun one. Yes, so that actually is that event is at the tail end of our organization. That's one of the last ones, and it kind of caps it off for us. So they've done a phenomenal job. I mean, Dr. Minita Ramirez and all of her team out there do a great job. There's so many different things out there, whether it's the folklorico, all the food that they have out there, the little kiddie zoo that they have. I mean, my kids have a blast there. I look forward to it every year. Yeah. And at that point, being that is an affiliate and a standalone, I don't have to do anything. I can just go and hang out with my kids and enjoy it. Yeah, and that, I'm sure, is a lot of fun for you. It is. Another... like WBCA likes to say, there's something for everybody. Yeah, there's also a car show that's become pretty popular these last few years. That's one of the things that we look forward to as well, because it's a free event. It's something where people can come together and you just have an influx of people all day long just coming in and checking out all the cars, whether it's entries from local car enthusiasts to the cars that we've had in the past. And like I said, whether it's different iterations of the Batmobile, the Back to the Future car, Lightning McQueen, the Ecto-1 from the Ghostbusters, a Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo. You know, we've brought a little bit of everything. So, you know, this year we were trying to see, well, what do we bring? What car can we bring? And keep in mind, most of the vehicles that we brought are replicas. This time we have the actual car. For anybody that's a fan of the movie Selena, it's the car that pulls the bumper off the thing.
Wow.
This one was for Salinas. That's the car. So it's the actual car. So it's not a replica.
Wow. Yeah.
And a lot of people were very excited about that. So, you know, we're happy to be able to bring that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I do want to mention, because I was noticing on y'all's calendar of events, there has been a lot of switcheroo from what we've been used to in the past as far as, you know, when the different events are. So I think the order of events, exactly. So I think people just need to be aware of some changes in the order of events, just so that, you know, if they're used to these certain events taking place at the very end, some of those have been switched to the beginning. Why did you all have to do that?
Well, there's various reasons. First and foremost, like the last couple of years, we moved our fireworks up to begin our celebration now, as
instead
opposed
of
to
the kickoff or the ending, right?
Realistically, with some of the things that we've added over the years, it wasn't the ending anyway, because we would do the fireworks at the end of the big weekend, but we'd still have our golf tournament the next weekend. We'd still have Fun Fest. So there was still other things happening. And also, there's another great organization here in Laredo that I wanted to give a plug to is LIFE, the Laredo International Fair and Exposition Group. They do a phenomenal job of putting their events together too, and we share spaces. So sometimes our calendars were butting up against each other. So doing the fireworks at the same time that they're coming in with the animals wasn't safe.
Got it.
So what we did is we pivoted and we made an adjustment to put our fireworks to cap off. Why not start it with a bang, you know? And we had the fireworks. It's worked out great for us. The weather's been phenomenal. We've been very blessed that we've had great weather. And it just kind of worked out great for us with the barbecue cook-off, and that became just a great big weekend. So with like what we call our HEB weekend, because we had both of those events there at the 1848 Center. And I mean, one of the little kicks I get out of this is, you know, we don't get money, but we do get to choose a few things, and I get to pick the playlist that goes off while the fireworks are going on.
Okay.
So I pick the songs that come out there a little bit. You know, my son helped me with some of the selections. Very proud of the fact that my son and I share a lot of the same musical tastes.
Wow.
So I'm like, wow, you like this? Great. Like, I did my job.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. We talked a little bit about the different events. I want to mention, though, and I really want to take the opportunity, Jaime, to showcase the beautiful poster. Talk about the significance of the unveiling of the poster, and we can
actually, I get to,
bit.
Yes. So there's multiple things in here that are great.
Because this is something you get to do. You get to choose the artist,
You choose the artist, yes. And in this case, it's actually my uncle, Eddie Alvarez, a local artist and custom broker. He's my wife's uncle. I married into the family, but he's my uncle. And, you know, I didn't realize that Eddie was an artist after all the years. And in speaking to his wife, Ana Isabel, and she asked me a question about my poster artist, and, you know, she wanted to throw Eddie's hat in the ring, and she showed me some of the things he did. And I was amazed, like, he did this? This is how little I know about my family. But I was just blown away by what I saw, so I said, absolutely. Yeah. So Eddie came by the office. He went in and saw a few of the historical pictures that we've had from the past, and he came up with this, his individual creation. I had zero input. I didn't want to have him cater to something I want. This is his vision,
right.
And I was very, very proud of what came out of it.
You know, I was going to ask you, explain a little bit to the folks who might not know what the Washington's birthday celebration is. Everything that they see here is part of it.
So you're seeing a little bit of everything here, which is different statues from both sides of the border, which is the United States and Mexico. Obviously, an international bridge there with the gateway in here. Mm-hmm. This is a replica of what you'd see at the World Trade Bridge. Mm-hmm. We have Martha, Abrazo Children, Princess and Chief Pocahontas, Air Show, Carnival, a little bit of downtown, the Placita, and if you look at the Plaza real quick, you'll see my name in there. But, you know, a lot of South Texas.
Yeah. Well, it's absolutely beautiful. The colors are stunning. You've got the fireworks, too, and I love the way the U.S. flag and the Mexican flag are just there. It's just beautiful.
It is. I was blown away when I saw it.
One of the best ones.
Like I said, my sister-in-law actually got a glimpse of it before. She gave me a little bit of a hint as to what to be looking for, but I didn't see it till it was done.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Great job with the selection. And these are available, aren't they?
They're available for sale. You can get them through our office at WBCA offices are at 1819 East Hillside.
Yeah.
You can call the office at 956-722-0589 or visit our website at WBCALaredo.org.
Perfect.
Now, I did want to say real quick is that visit WBCALaredo.org for all the updated information on different events, how to buy your tickets, what dates have changed, all that information. That's our best resource because if anything does change, that's where it is.
Okay.
If you see something in print media, it could be that something changed along the way.
Right, but the website is always updated. And lastly, Jaime, kiosk and tickets. Where can folks purchase tickets?
So depending on the thing,
events?
we will be having tickets available through our website. We will have some tickets that are directly available to the website. Jalapeño Festival, there'll be some tickets available through Ticketmaster itself through the arena.
Okay.
You can go to the box office at the arena to buy tickets. Actually, I recommend buying them before December 31st because we do have a little bit of a sale going on in those right now.
Okay.
That price will go up in January 1st, but you can avoid some of the online fees by going in person to the kiosk or to the ticket window there at the arena, and the website will give you the information for the rest of them.
Okay. Well, on that note, Jaime, good luck to you. I hope you get some sleep now before the celebration begins at the latter end of January and then, of course, all of February.
Yeah.
So we wish you the best of luck. And, of course, we're looking forward to being at a lot of those events.
Well, I appreciate you having us here. And more importantly, thank you for the partnership that we've had with KGNS over all the years.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it. And that does it for this episode of Morning Brew. Of course, we talked a little bit about the parades, the air show, jalapeños, carnival rides, everything you need to know to kick off the 2026 Washington's birthday celebration. It is definitely shaping up to be one for the books. So a huge thank you to Jaime for giving us a behind-the-scenes look and a sneak peek at what's to come. And for a full calendar of events and details for the celebration, you can just also head over to our website at kgns.tv, Morning Brew. So until we see you at the festivities, enjoy the brew.